Today I'm going to show you how to make the best fettuccine alfredo at home. We want the butter to emulsify with that pasta water in the pasta, and I'm going to start adding cheese.
I'm sorry, Frank, but I feel like you need a little bit more water.
You could measure this out perfectly, but I'm going to do it by eye because I want this to look a certain way.
You can't really share measurements for this, 200 grams of this. No, you have to feel it. It's a pasta that you have to feel. How can you go wrong? You got 3 ingredients, come on. Feel it, guys, feel it when you cook. I am really excited about this video. Chef Frank from Epicurious is saying that he makes the best fettuccine alfredo you will ever make. Restaurant quality. Do you believe that? Let's watch it.
I'm Frank Proto, professional chef and culinary instructor, and today I'm going to show you how to make the best fettuccine alfredo at home.
Yay.
Talking silky, creamy, classic fettuccine alfredo.
That looks very creamy. Looks very creamy. I hope he didn't use any cream.
Fettuccine alfredo is a classic dish that you normally don't see in restaurants in Italy. It's basically pasta with butter and parmesan. Pasta al burro or pasta con parmigiano e burro.
Bravo, bravissimo. I've used Barilla pasta in the past as well. What can I do? But it's a pasta that I don't buy anymore. Try to buy other pastas such as la Molisana, De Cecco, Liguori, Rummo, or artisan pasta such as Mancini, la Rusticata d'Abruzzo, Pastificio Cocco. Even if you go to Aldi, you can find a good pasta called Armando. It's a great pasta. Buy those pastas. They cost 50 cents, maybe $1 more than Barilla.
The American version of fettuccine alfredo uses cream. This is more the original version that came from Italy to America.
Yeah, so the fettuccine alfredo originally, like you said, made with Parmigiano and butter and pasta water, very important. But then it went to America and it completely changed. Today you see fettuccine alfredo made with cream, always. Lots of herbs, lots of parsley, sometimes people with eggs. And then I see lots of, prawns and chicken, frozen chicken together. Or there's way too much in it. You can't just call it alfredo because it's not alfredo anymore, Just by the time you add the cream, you already changed the recipe. So you add all these other flavors, you have to give it a different name. Sorry, guys. Call it fettuccine America Freddo maybe. Fettuccine America Freddo. I like that.
Real fettuccine alfredo only has 3 ingredients: butter, Parmesan cheese, and pasta.
It looks like it was a sponsored video, which is okay. But when you use fettuccine for alfredo, you need to have fresh fettuccine, like it's a must. I'm sorry to say, but the fresh fettuccine will absorb the sauce the right way. Dry pasta is fine, yes, but you're not gonna get the maximum, you're not maximizing the ingredients. So in this case, this is not the best already because you're using a dry pasta. If you use fresh pasta, you get a different consistency, the pasta absorbs the sauce differently, and that's when it's best.
One of the main ingredients in our fettuccine alfredo is Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. It is really important that you use real Parmigiano Reggiano from Italy. You can tell that it's real because it's going to be stamped Parmigiano Reggiano on the outside.
It's very important to use a Parmigiano, at least 30 months old, but 24 months could do the job as well. But if you get a 30 months old Parmigiano, it will melt beautifully and perfectly, and it will react very well when you mix it with the pasta water and the warm hot pasta. If you use one of those cheaper or nasty brands from the usual supermarket, those commercial ones, I don't think the cheese will melt. It will create a beautiful cream that you want. So Parmigiano is the way.
So I'm going to start grating my cheese. It's really important that your Parmesan cheese be finely grated. I'm using a microplane. If you don't have a microplane, you can grate it on a grater and then sift it or strain it just to get the big chunks out. But I want this cheese to be nice and fine.
Great thing to do. I've also, if I can suggest, people have NutriBullet at home. I know you're not meant to, but NutriBullet is actually very good to kind of grate your cheese. In this case, remove the skin, put the little chunks at a time, and grate it in a NutriBullet or a normal blender, food processor. It will do very well. Only thing I recommend, if you use a NutriBullet or a blender or food processor, do it like hours before, because once you do that, you warm up the milk. So you want to place the milk in the fridge before you start using it. if I can recommend that, okay?
Part of the reason I don't use pre-grated cheese is that I can't tell if it's real, right? Someone could be selling me Parmesan cheese and I don't see the rind, so I don't really trust it.
Good job. Well done, Frank. Well done. Very, very good.
Second of all, it's usually not ground fine enough. And a lot of times when you buy pre-grated cheese, there are things in the cheese that will stop it from clumping. Like,
Yes, and what's in the cheese that creates the problem, and then it doesn't turn out. The recipe doesn't turn out because of the cheese. You might do everything right, but the cheese is your worst enemy.
sometimes also in pre-grated cheese, it's very moist, and this cheese is usually super dry, and that makes our product a little stringy in the end. So grate your own cheese, it's worth it. So it does,
I agree, so good.
and I'm basically gonna use like 3/4 of a pound or a pound of cheese to a pound of pasta. It's indulgent. This is a luxurious dish. It is cheesy, it is rich. Don't skimp on the cheese here. The cheese is
No, the cheese is the ingredient, the main ingredient. I probably would say spend less on the butter. I mean, how much could the butter be? But the money you have to spend here is on the cheese and the fresh pasta you can make yourself. Or how much can fresh pasta be?
have a pot of boiling water, and usually chefs tell people to use a large pot of boiling water. In this case, I want a smaller pot. I want less water. When pasta cooks, it gives off starch. I want this water to be extra starchy, so when we add it to our pasta, that starch will help bring the sauce together. Generally,
Yeah, that makes sense. Usually you use fresh pasta, okay? So technique is a little bit different, okay? With the fresh pasta, when you emulsify the ingredients with the fresh pasta, it works fantastic, okay? I know what you want to do here, which I understand. So, okay, you're using dry pasta, so I guess it's a good technique.
I chose to use dry pasta in the box. Now, a lot of people say, well, Italy, they all eat fresh pasta all the time, but that's not.
We don't need fresh pasta all the time. Most of the time we have dry pasta from the supermarket. And then on Sunday, that's when we have fresh pasta. Because on the weekends, you got time to make it. Or you just go to the local pasta shop. They make fresh pasta. You bring it home and cook it. It's just a specialty, something you do on the weekend. My family always make fresh pasta on Sunday. When my family doesn't go to my nonna for lunch on Sunday, my dad always makes pasta, especially tagliatelle. He loves making tagliatelle on Sunday. It could be served with mushrooms, with meat, with wild boar, or with seafood.
A lot of times chefs will say they want their pasta al dente. Al dente means to the tooth, which means there's a little bit of bite. You bite into your pasta, there's no white center, but it has some chew to it. I'm going just past al dente here.
I think it's good that you're doing that, Frank. Well done, because this pasta is not meant to be al dente. The Alfredo is not actually really meant to be really al dente, but it's meant to be, how can I say, not mushy, but yeah, a little bit, the sauce is a little bit watery and very creamy and silky. The pasta should be very silky. So because you chose a dry pasta, you do have to cook it a little bit more to get the silkiness, to make the proper Alfredo. But that's why you use a fresh pasta, because the fresh pasta will give you the silkiness that you need.
I'm using a butter with high butter fat. It's a little creamier, there's less liquid or solids in.
Lots of sponsors in this video.
The best way to check if your pasta is done is to actually taste the piece. People say, oh, throw it against the wall. No, it just says our pasta's starchy.
Yeah, bravo. No wall, please. Bravo, Frank.
Basically, I'm using the pound rule. You got a pound of pasta, a pound of butter, and a pound of cheese.
Pound pasta.
The pasta is ready to go, so I'm gonna shut my water off. Notice I don't have a colander or a spider or anything strainer. What I'm gonna do is take my pasta directly out of the water, let it drain for like a second, and then drop it right into my butter. Some of that pasta water is clinging to my pasta, and that's what I want. I'm not gonna throw this pasta water away yet because I might need some to adjust the final dish.
This is nice. This is nice that he's doing it in a big, large bowl. It's easy for everyone. Great job. In this case, because you got such a beautiful large bowl, I would suggest, if you guys have it at home, to actually place the bowl on top of the pot. So the pot, even though it's off, the steam from the pot will kind of do a bagnomaria technique, bain-marie technique. But the glass in this case, I don't believe this glass will break. Otherwise, use a stainless steel bowl. You put it on the pot and the steam will keep it nice and warm, and it will be a lot easier to emulsify and to get the pasta to make love with the cheese and butter.
We want the butter to emulsify with that pasta water in the pasta, and I'm gonna start adding cheese. You don't want.
I'm sorry, Frank, but I feel like you need a little bit more water.
We gotta keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. And that's what's the most important thing is here. I'm gonna add a little more cheese.
Can you see, probably you can see it's a little bit dry. Well, you don't really want this to be too dry. By the time you put it in the plate, it will be a lot drier than it is now. So in the bowl should be a little bit, not watery, but a little bit more runny, if I can say that. Because by the time you put it in the plate, it takes no time for the cream to dry up.
You could measure this out perfectly, but I'm gonna do it by eye because I want this to look a certain way. I want it to look creamy and delicious.
You can't really share measurements for this, 200 grams of this. No, you have to feel it. It's a pasta that you have to feel. How can you go wrong? You got 3 ingredients, come on. Feel it, guys, feel it when you cook.
So you can see that my sauce is kind of tight. I can add pasta water, but look, once I add that water, you'll...
Good job, Frank, well done.
I use a glass bowl for this because a metal bowl will disperse the heat, whereas a glass bowl holds that heat together.
Great job, but trust me, you put it on the pot, because it's a large bowl, looks like it fits, and the steam from underneath will help you, it will do such a better job.
This creamy sauce, it starts to look like we added heavy cream to this, and we didn't add any.
You don't understand how amazing this is. You got amazing flavors from the Parmigiano Reggiano, top quality Parmigiano Reggiano. Butter is beautiful. A nice pasta, what else do you need?
You might be tempted to do this in a pan over a heat source. And the reason I chose a bowl is because if you overheat this sauce, it breaks.
Yes.
So you're gonna have an oily mess where the cheese is in clumps and the butter breaks and gets greasy. When the butter breaks, that means that the fat and the solids separate. So you're gonna get greasy, fatty stuff and chunks of butter solids.
Yeah, well done. We'll explain. We'll explain.
So we can go on the plate. You can see this super creamy. Now, if you have guests, you don't really have to put this on a platter. You can go directly onto their plates.
I will serve it straight away into the plates, bravo, and eat and tell them, guys, we talk later, eat. Because if you put this on the table and then everyone serves themselves, I'm pretty sure it's gonna get cold. I think it's always best if you serve it to your guest and eat it straight away.
And you can see why when this dish came over to America, people thought there was cream in it, because it does actually look like there might be some cream in here. But it is just butter, pasta water, and Parmesan cheese. Look at that.
I think he did a great job. He was very, very generous with the cheese, which is very good. But as you can see now, the pasta is drying up in the tray. And to be honest, it's not easy to film videos, and then you have to take photos, and you have to take a different take, a different angle. So it's not his fault. This pasta was cooked perfectly. It was done very well. And the thing is that that's how quick it takes to dry up. Okay, so mind that, keep in mind. Is it the best pasta, best fettuccine alfredo I've ever seen? No, because you should have used fresh pasta. The fresh pasta really makes the fettuccine alfredo. Got 3 ingredients, get them right. Butter, unsalted, good quality. Like you said, European butter made in America. Fresh pasta, guys. Fresh pasta, please. Must be fresh fettuccine. You can make it yourself or you buy them. And the Parmigiano Reggiano, at least 30 months. Great job by Frank. Unfortunately, the pasta was not on your side. Everything else was done right. A little detail they could have made even a better pasta was to place the bowl on top of the pot, and the steam from the water would keep the glass bowl nice and warm, if you know what I mean. It will make it warmer so everything else will emulsify better. Or the stainless steel too.
If that doesn't make you smile.
It's nice, look at that, look at that. It's just that the pasta is not right, but otherwise look at that, look how beautiful.
So I do have a little bowl of cheese here on the side in case you or your guests want to add more cheese. But I would suggest tasting it first, the way it is. And if you need more cheese, add more cheese. To be honest with you, there is so much cheese in this dish already, they probably won't need it.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're a cheese lover, maybe you would. If you're crazy about cheese, you definitely will, but that's plenty of cheese. Well done, Frank. Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done. I'm glad I watched this video. I'm glad, and just remove best, but fettuccine, good fettuccine alfredo made by Frank. Well done. Guys, what do you think of this? Do you think I did a good job? I think Frank really wanted to impress everyone with this video, and he definitely did. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next Vincenzo's Plate video recipe or reaction. E ora si mangia. Fettuccine alfredo. Vincenzo's Plate.